New Right Network. Mobilizing, countering the left, energizing the right. New Right Network, home of the New Right movement.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to New Right Network Tonight original series, SmythTV. Your host, Brian Smith, giving you all the breaking news, wrapping it all up, making sense of it, exposing the fake news, and giving you the real news. And I was doing some last-minute show prep, and I want to thank every single person, everybody on Twitter who's been very, very super supportive of the show, everybody who's been helping me out with great news articles. If you're on Twitter and you're seeing this show, go ahead. The direct messages are open. DM me whenever you have some breaking news, some great news, some good information, or even maybe a great tweet with your thoughts that got a lot of traction and you just want to show it off. Send it to me in a direct message, and I'll make sure I get it to the show. And for those of you who are new on the show, crush a like, crush a share. Make sure you get the notifications. We have a Telegram group, so you can download the app Telegram. And I drop the show link for YouTube, Facebook, and Periscope, as well as the show notes, and I'll get to that in a second, as well as the show notes in the Telegram group so that you'll never miss a single thing anywhere, wherever you are. Oh, I also dropped the link for the iHeartRadio show as well in Telegram. It's non-censored. The Twitter's not on me. Facebook's not on me. YouTube's not. They can't do nothing about Telegram. That's completely separate. That's almost like me direct messaging you. Hey, we're live. So at least you can catch the show. Now, with that being said, here's the thing about the show notes. See, people keep telling me that, Brian, why don't you explain what's going on? I said, man, I'm sorry. Okay. In the link in the description below, the show notes are usually 3 pages long, but I can't put that in the description on most outlets. So what I do is I put a link, and I'll just read it off. At the top of the show notes, it says New Right Network Original Series SmythTV. And underneath that, it says iHeartRadio audio only, and there's your link for that. And then underneath that is Telegram, the group Telegram. And don't miss a single show. Click that link. It'll take you to the Telegram group. And if you don't have Telegram, it's just a simple little app where a lot of us are going to. Paul Joseph Watson is on there. Laura Loomer's on there. And all it is it's a private message chat group, almost like your messenger on your iPhone or whatnot. It's a similar thing, but it allows for multiple people. I think you're allowed 200,000 people in there, which is a lot of people. But hold on. Only one person is chatting. Only one person. It's only a one-way stream. You can direct message me on Twitter and we can set that up and you can message me that way. But it's a one-way stream, so you're only getting relevant information, and I only put the show in there. And so down in the full notes, you'll see all the different names of everybody on Twitter, all their tweets. And what I'll do is their name is highlighted, their handle on Twitter is highlighted, and it's a clickable link. So I took an extra step. So you can click the link on the name, go directly to their handle, and you can follow them. Like Cat the Hammer 1, you can just click that on there. You show up on her Twitter page, you can follow her. And then right after the tweet, and her tweet is the bounded blue created to give voice to voiceless. I'll get to that in a minute. And right after that's the actual link to the tweet. So you click that, and that'll take you right to Cat the Hammer 1's tweet, and you can see exactly what she's saying and follow her as well. I also have all the Trump tweets and all the links there for all the different politicians that we highlight here, the things that they say, the different outlets and the articles that are written. All those links are in the show notes below. Just click the link for show notes. It'll take you right to the show notes, and you can follow along as we go through the show. All right. Let's get that out of the way. Let's get to what's real. What's going on? Oh, breaking news. We got day 2 trending abortion. Oh, my goodness, folks. I cannot believe what is going on out there in the social media worlds. And when I say in the social media worlds, this is real. Whether you're on social media or not, this is real. Real politicians standing up for murder versus real politicians standing up for life and the Constitution. It's maddening out there. And these Democrat politicians, they're getting nowhere with this. Nobody is buying the stuff that they're putting on social media. Nobody's trained them to be on social media, for one. They need a handler. They need somebody to take care of them on social media because what they're doing just ain't no good. And then we got the man on the street with video clips of these politicians either on the run, doing something crazy. So this is the new medium, folks. And if you see some of the other news outlets or whatnot, they're starting to copy me. Everybody like, Brian's got the right idea on that social media thing. Like, yeah. This is the real news. It is unfiltered real news that I get from social media. I do make it a family-friendly show, so you're all good. There's no profanity and no nudity, nothing like that. So it's a family-friendly show. But we'll get into everything that's going on with that. Democrats, again, they're still attempting to run 2020. There's more people getting in the fray. Yeah, I think there's like 24 now, and this. Trump said yesterday, he said out of all the 22, because they didn't know there's two more jump in, there's not a single one of them out of 350 million people in America, not a single one. This is what you put together in the Democrat Party? I'm serious, guys. If you know a Democrat, they've got to be upset. They've got to be beside themselves. And you know what? I remember how it feels. And we got to keep reminding ourselves how bad it was in 2008. We got to keep reminding ourselves how, when we look back in hindsight, the frustration we had with the Bush administration not fighting back. Looking back, we understand the frustration of the John McCains of the world and the Mitt Romneys of the world, and how we were the forgotten men and women of America. We were the voiceless men and women of America, and that is why Donald Trump resonated so well with us and the America First agenda. And think about it. Think about what he has done in 2.5 years. Absolutely run circles around these fools. It's just they can't even keep up. It's so insane. And with technology that we've got all these documentaries coming out on the YouTubes unfiltered. We got people tweeting out. We've got books. We've got the outlets, Breitbart News. We got the Gateway Pundit, Daily Caller, all putting out real news, and then we are tweeting it out, and then we put the show together for you right here at SmythTV. So if you like what you hear, you like what you see, crush the share, crush the follow, tell us about your friends and family. And tomorrow we're going to have a special guest on, a minority who is a huge Trump supporter. And I got 2 thumbs up for this one. It's going to be a fantastic show for Freedom Friday. But for Thursday Thoughts, we'll get into the Democrats, a little bit of Islam cracking around there, and then Operation Boomerang. I heard Sean Hannity say Operation Boomerang, but I don't know if I've heard anybody else say that yet. This is what we're calling out the Durham Bar Tag Team. This is Operation Boomerang. The Democrats and Mueller threw that thing out there, not knowing it was coming right back to bite them, and you know what? So we'll get into that. And it's really good stuff. We got some truth bombs dropped by politicians. We got everywhere from Trey Gowdy, and now we got close to home right here, guys. We got our representative, Steve Shabbat, on display today, doing a great job. So those of you in Cincinnati say Steve Shabbat doesn't represent the people. I'm going to tell you right now, I got video clips showing that Steve Shabbat represents the people. Don't tell me that. That's some joke stuff. And then let's jump right into it. Where are we going at first? Okay, let's get to the biggest news. Everybody is just chomping at the bit about what's going on. Yesterday, we talked about abortion. We talked about Alabama and how their Senate passed a bill to ban abortion. Ban all the way. All the way, no exceptions, zero, nada, zilch. It passed. It went to the governor last night, and the governor said, I don't give a crap what you say. I'm signing this. I'm protecting the lives of the unborn children. This is the Constitution protects life, liberty, and the pursuit of freedom, not the pursuit of your everything you want. And so the governor's like, I'm signing this. Forget about it. This is it. This is real. And this is right. So that's what happened in Alabama last night. Since that had happened, we got another state stepping it up. Breaking news. We've got the Boston Globe at Christian Clark JD. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, don't follow this one. Don't follow this one. I just put this in here because this is what I saw. I went down the whole abortion is a woman's right list on Twitter, and she tweeted this out. It's a first tweet. She says, breaking, Missouri Senate just passed an 8-week abortion ban, 24-0. No exceptions for rape or incest. Bill moves to the Senate. Governor has indicated he will sign. She puts her own personal comment. A coordinated attack Roe v. Wade and women's reproductive freedom is well underway. Hashtag abortion is a woman's right. She tweeted that out to the Boston Globe. And I guess we'll follow the Boston Globe. Why not? And so they wrote a whole article about it. And it needs at least another vote of approval in the GOP-led House before it goes to the governor. That's what's trending all day today was trending. Abortion is a woman's right. No, sex is a woman's right. Sex is your right. You have the right to sex or not sex. You don't have the right to kill or not kill. I don't have the right to kill or not kill. We've talked about this again and again and again. DNA is completely different. At the moment the sperm and the egg meet, the DNA is produced and it is completely different than yours. There is no difference than a baby in the womb than us out here sitting out here talking. The only difference is time and location. Location, you're in the womb. Location, I'm in a underground bunker studio, completely protected from those crazy left-wing nut jobs out there. I got to stay safe in here. There's a free speech in here. I'm just saying I got to stay safe and protected. But that's the only difference. You're in the womb. I'm here. I'm older. You're younger. That's all there is to it. Just as we said, a turkey in the oven is not part of the oven. All the stuff in my refrigerator has nothing to do with the fridge. And it's going to come back out because I'm going to eat it. I'm just saying. It's not part of the fridge. You wouldn't eat the refrigerator. See, my point being made. So hashtag abortion is a woman's right has been trending all day today because Missouri Senate passes the 8-week abortion ban. Here in Ohio, I applaud our governor here in Ohio. He said immediately, back up. John Kasich, the fake Republican, the rhino in name only, you guys know him now as the Joker who somehow tricked the entire state of Ohio. That's a whole nother backstory, but Ohio's gotten cleaned up since then, folks. Ohio's gotten cleaned up. The Republican Party in Ohio has become unified and united with Trump. Good news. So we got rid of Kasich and our new governor, Mike DeWine. As he was running, he said, you guys, and when he won, he said, you guys get me that heartbeat bill. I'll sign that thing lickety split. I won't even think twice about it. Lo and behold, solid to his word. I would absolutely reelect Mike. I would absolutely reelect Mike DeWine in a heartbeat. No pun intended. Heartbeat bill. Thank you so much, Mike. And I was under the impression that they could detect a heartbeat of a baby at 6 to 8 weeks. I was just informed today that there's some that are able to detect a heartbeat at 5 weeks. That's the way it is. Personal responsibility for yourself. And again, less than total combined rape and incest, less than 1% of the abortions being performed, less than 1%. 99% of the abortions performed out of convenience. I don't have the money. My boyfriend and I, we're not getting along and the relationship's bad. My parents pressured me into it. Folks, it's just one excuse after another. And statistics show that a woman who has an abortion, and I spoke with one, but a woman who has an abortion, that statistics show they then go back out and have another, get pregnant again. And it covers up. It's to cover up. It's that, for lack of better terms, and I apologize if this offends anybody, but for lack of better terms, when you have a dog and your dog dies, a lot of times people go out and get another dog right away, cover up for the pain and the hurt. And that's what we see happening here. And we have our good friend on Arena at ROHLL5, an absolute dynamite Trump supporter, one to follow MAGA movement. She posted this up. I stand with Governor #KB signing new abortion #law into effect. #ban abortion. Every heartbeat matters. Alabama. And this is a meme that she put up. I stand with Alabama. Every heartbeat matters. Look at the beautiful baby. Who doesn't love a beautiful baby? Come on, man. I'm just saying, who doesn't love a beautiful baby? You can't be doing this, guys. When I was speaking with my mother about volunteering her time in a crisis center, helping these young women who become pregnant and don't know where to go, have nowhere to turn. Another thing that was being blasted on social media, all these left-wing lunatic feminists screaming, what have you Christians, what have you right-wing Christians done for us? We're poor, the poor mother that they got pregnant. What do you do? I'm going to let you know. We put together these crisis centers so that they can take care of their bodies. They can maintain their health and nutrition, learn how to take care of the baby, learn how to raise the baby, get support, love, caring, nurturing. And many times there's free cribs, there's free baby carriages, there's free car seats, all kinds of free stuff at our church. And I know a lot of churches do this. I only go to one church, but I know a lot of churches do this, but our church, we give away all kinds of stuff. We help women in our community every day, everywhere. So much so that you don't even have to belong to our church, that we actually give money and support, maybe not cash, but we'll buy whatever it is that you need to help support you and your child. Matter of fact, there was a woman, tragedy, and Donald Trump now reforming the immigration laws, but tragic news. There was a woman who doesn't go to our church, but she came to us in need, right to the church, bawling her eyes out. Her son had overdosed and passed away, and our church stepped up and paid for the funeral. That's what Christians do. That's we step it up and we take care of ourselves and take care of each other. That's what our religion, that's what Christ has commanded us to do, is to move through this life and gather up the people who don't know about Christ, inform them about who Christ is, where freedom is, where the love is, move forward, and eventually make our way to heaven. We are not destined to this world. Islam says it a different way. That's why we got to move away from that. Pick up these people. We're all sinners. We've all fallen short. Forgive one another. Let's move on and take care of each other. And this at Lori_B_777. I'm sickened and embarrassed to have once called myself a Democrat. They have turned into pure evil. They're angry because they can't kill babies. Disgusting. #walk away from evil. We can't stay home. #vote Trump 2020. Thank you, Alabama. Save the babies. Absolutely one to follow right there. Couldn't have said it better myself, Lori, but again, we all make bad mistakes. That's how we get to making good mistakes. Sometimes you make bad ones, you learn to make good ones. We're all forgiven. We forgive each other. The big tent party that is Donald Trump has brought a country together with the likes we've never seen before. I'm serious. Donald Trump bringing Democrats. Lori, welcome to the party. I've never been a Democrat. I've always been a Republican, and Tea Party, always been a Tea Party Republican. And Lori, I reach my hand out to you. Come on in. Jump in, the water's warm. That's where the party's at, is right here with Donald Trump. And this at Sean Lynn 5 fixed it. He's tweeting out to Hillary Clinton, support for abortion in Alabama, Georgia, Ohio, Kentucky, Mississippi, and elsewhere are appalling attacks on babies' lives and fundamental freedoms. Babies' rights are human rights. We will not go back. At Hillary Clinton is a baby killer. Whew. I don't know if she's actually killed a baby, but she definitely supports it. And this was her tweet that he replied to at Hillary Clinton. The abortion bans in Alabama, Georgia, Ohio, Kentucky, and Mississippi are appalling attacks on women's lives and fundamental freedoms. Women's rights are human rights. We will not go back. She then goes ahead to campaign and fundraise. Here's what you can do today to fight back. Donate to abortion funds. Oh, no. Support Emerge America. No, Hillary, no. And then her third tweet on that. None of us should accept the future in which our daughters and granddaughters have fewer rights than we do. Choose a way to help, ask a friend to join, and let's get to work. I'm sorry, Crooked Hillary. That is not how this goes in this country. You wouldn't have daughters or granddaughters if they were aborted. Think about that. I was born in June of 1973, 6 months after Roe v. Wade. It was good to go. Legit. Go ahead, abort that one. No. If she was too young to take care of me, whatever the circumstances were, she gave me up for adoption. Best thing that could have ever happened. If you can't take care of the baby, if you can't mentally handle whatever the situation that was that happened, whether you broke up with your boyfriend, rape, incest, whatever it is, choose life. Allow a loving home, a loving father, and a loving mother. Allow them the opportunity to adopt a baby. I know people in my family that lots and lots of money to just have one baby, never to have another baby again because physically it just didn't work that way. But man, if these babies were able to be adopted, think about that. 40 million babies since Roe v. Wade have been murdered. Imagine if a fraction of them were able to give up for adoption. Imagine the great minds, the great thoughts, the things that could have come out of that. Things that could have been solved, problems that you could have killed the next Sir Isaac Newton, Louis Armstrong. You could have killed the next Donald Trump kind of thing. Come on, man. And so I pulled this one up. This is a flashback, folks. This flashback from the campaign. This is a Hillary Clinton oldie but goodie.
Mr. Trump, your reaction, and particularly on this issue of late-term partial birth abortion.
I think it's terrible. If you go with what Hillary is saying, in the 9th month, you can take the baby and rip the baby out of the womb of the mother just prior to the birth of the baby. Now, you can say that that's okay, and Hillary can say that that's okay, but it's not okay with me. Because based on what she's saying and based on where she's going and where she's been, you can take the baby and rip the baby out of the womb in the 9th month on the final day. And that's not acceptable.
And if you don't believe Donald Trump, it's absolutely factual. Hillary Clinton went on The View and said to the ladies on The View that, yes, abortion up until the day of birth, to its birthday. Absolutely. That's what's so wretched and awful about this. And again, just to let everybody know, once again, breaking news, Boston Globe breaks the news. Missouri Senate just passed an 8-week abortion ban, 24-0. Now has to get another couple more Republican votes and go on to the governor. And let's shift the focus. Let's get back to what's real. What's real? Jay Sekulos, please help us out on what's real. At Jay Sekulos, Sekulow, Donald Trump's lawyer. Why is the cruel practice of dismemberment abortions still legal? It's disgusting, and it epitomizes everything wrong with #abortion. We're fighting to defend it. We're fighting for the unborn. #pro-life. ACLJ.org. Not to get too graphic here, but think about that for just one split second. How is it in our day and age that the dismemberment, and that's how it has to happen, in order to get the baby out of the womb, it has to be taken apart, and it's taken apart in the womb. How can we as a civilized society be okay and allow for this to happen? Absolutely. Barbaric. I mean, this is a throwback to the dark ages of sorts. And again, I just throw this out there. I'm not a big fan of Ben Shapiro. There's some things that I disagree with him on, but then there's some things I agree with him on. At Ben Shapiro, life is a right. In fact, unlike abortion, which is not a right, life is specifically directed in the Declaration of Independence, as well as the 5th and 14th Amendments and remains the most fundamental right of all. Hashtag abortion is a woman's right. Obviously, trolling at hashtag abortion is a woman's right. That's a troll tweet. But it is true. Our Constitution protects the rights of the baby. Just because it's in your womb doesn't mean it's got no rights. Illegals that aren't even in this country, according to Democrats, have more rights than a baby in the womb. Think about that for a minute. Just think about that. Democrats are okay with illegals coming into this country who are violent records, murderers, drug addicts, drug dealers, rapists, whatever. Go ahead. You got more rights. You got constitutional rights. You in America. Well, the mom, the mother who has the baby in her womb, that baby got no rights. Something wrong with this Democrat Party, and we've got technology to blow this up. Guys, crush the share, crush the follow, hit the retweets, hit the Facebook likes, whatever it is. Again, you're watching New Right Network's original series, Smith TV. I am your host, Brian Smith. Check it out on Facebook and Twitter, and we're all over the place. Bringing you breaking news every single day, Monday through Friday, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern, exposing the fake news and giving you the real news. And we're wrapping this up right now. Abortion Day 2 trending because conservative, mainstream, middle America, the heartbeat of America, the true American soul, turning to rid abortion from our states and take this fight all the way to Supreme Court. Oh, how about that? You thought they was mad with Brett Kavanaugh. Whew! Wait till Donald Trump gets his chance to replace Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Anybody hear from her? Where is Ruth? Like, seriously, in the comments below, somebody in the comments below, tell me where Ruth is. I've been looking for articles. I can't find her nowhere. Just a sad, sad day. And this by our good friend, and I absolutely say this is the young minds of today growing up in the conservative movement. This is at Charlie Kirk 11 facts. There are 1.2 million children aborted every year. That is 3,288 per day, 137 per hour, 9 every 4 minutes, 1 every 28 seconds. And the U.S. taxpayer spends $500 million funding that every single year. Enough is enough. Retweet. I apologize, Charlie. I had you in the show, but I got you on the retweets. There you go. And it's absolutely true. We got to stop funding this. Ohio has put together the ability to where they don't have to fund Planned Parenthood anymore. Texas judge just went ahead and said Texas doesn't have to fund Planned Parenthood anymore. That's where it's got to stop. We've got hospitals. We've got walking. We got the walk-in clinic at Kroger and CVS and Walgreens. I don't need no Planned Parenthood, y'all. Planned Parenthood is those socialistic ideologies. Kroger's, CVS, Ralph's, wherever part of the country you're in, you go to the grocery store, get your groceries, and wait for your turn to go see the doctor. How about that novel idea? That's a capitalist ideology right there. Get you in, get you out real quick. If you got insurance, you might be free. If you got insurance, might be $25. Speaking about bright ideas versus bad ideas, this at AMERIKAN Girl 07. President Trump nailed it. Crazy Bernie. To Bernie Sanders' tweet. Is Bernie Sanders running for president of the United States of America? Bernie Sanders. Abortion is a constitutional right. And Gene Penny replied, "You're an idiot." You know what? They follow us. I'm gonna like that. Give that a thumbs up. Yeah, you are an idiot, bruh. We just showed you how in the Constitution it says life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It doesn't say life, liberty, and pursuit of abortion. But this guy's crazy. This is crazy as those people running Hugo Chavez and Maduro and now this tweeted out by a good friend of ours. This is a really good tweet, guys. The same woman, same girl at America with a K in Girl 07. Did you know that Jane from Roe v. Wade, which made abortion legal in every state, lied, regretted it, spent the last years of her life being a hashtag pro-life advocate.
Jane Roe's story was a terrible one. She said she had been gang raped, gotten pregnant, was desperate to get an abortion. That's what everyone believed as long as Jane Roe remained anonymous. When she went public, she told a different story.
You were raped while you were in Georgia?
No, I wasn't.
You were not?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, so all those stories that are in the books and so forth are not true?
Yes, sir. Yes.
They're not true.
Right.
And it turned out that lying wasn't the only embarrassment this darling of the pro-choice forces presented. In her personal treatise published last year, Norma McCorvey told the story of her somewhat sordid life. Then she still adamantly supported abortion. Now she adds that to the list of sins she took with her into the baptismal pool.
I've cheated people out of money. I've sold drugs. I was an abusive alcoholic for, many, many years. I've done a lot against his teachings. But I think the far greater sin that I did was to be the plaintiff in Roe versus Wade.
We forgive you. God forgives you. Christ forgives you. Christ died on the cross. It's been paid for. You're forgiven. You're welcome to the big tent party that is Donald Trump's party. Jump on in. The water's warm. It's nice over here on this side. This is a judgment-free zone. We do not judge, folks. Jump on in. If anything else, this has showed the Democrats' true colors of how awful and evil and hateful they are. This is just more proof that Democrats holding on to these ideologies and condemning. You heard this news reporter, the darling part of the right. Come on, man. You calm down. Quit judging people. We don't judge as Christians. She's baptized. She's forgiven. She's not making a day of reckoning and move forward with it. And before I forget, at Cat the Hammer 1, the Wounded Blue created to give a voice to the voiceless, to give voice to first responders when their departments fail them and workers' comps deny them. Give at Lieutenant Randy Sutton a follow and learn more. And this is Randy Sutton's page. He's only got 3,500 followers, guys. I think we can help him out with a couple more follows. You jump over there and check it out. Help him out. Help him to help those in blue. In case you didn't know, if this first time been on a show back in the 90s, I was in the Air Force. I was never in law enforcement, nothing like this. But I absolutely support the men and women in blue that risk their lives every single day. That's something else the Republican Party does. We support the men and women in blue. When I lived out there in California, it was unbelievable how the Democrats hated local law enforcement, how the Democrats and the police chief and the mayor always threw the police under the bus, and it was just horrendous. We support the men and women in blue. And speaking about the support, this is Donald Trump supporting us conservative voices. And this over the night last night, the White House tweeted out, and our good friend John McGeever 70, Trump White House launches website for victims of tech censorship, where you can add your name and tell your story. This at thegatewaypundit.com. And Donald Trump subsequently tweeted this out. So surprised to see conservative thinkers like James Woods banned from Twitter and Paul Watson banned from Facebook. This is from Breitbart.com. Yes, James Woods said he will never come back to Twitter unless the platform is completely changed. And Donald Trump also tweeted this out as well. This got over 200,000 likes and 54,000 retweets. I am continuing to monitor the censorship of American citizens on social media platforms. This is the United States of America, and we have what's known as freedom of speech. We're monitoring and watching closely. That's fantastic that you're watching and monitoring closely, but I'm telling you right now, sir, with all due respect, you got to jump into this game and jump into it ASAP. We are losing good friends left and right daily because of this censorship, because of the Facebooks and the Twitters, the YouTube. I can't even get nowhere on YouTube. It's just a lost cause. I had got nothing to do with that. So while we continue to move on with our Constitution in America and freedom of speech, freedom to live, freedom of right to life, We've got a president who is absolutely in our court. Now, moving on to the Democrats shifting gears. Not really. No, there's no gear shifting. It is Democrats doing what Democrats do. Total insanity when it comes to Democrats and Democrat Party, whether it be San Francisco or anywhere in California. San Francisco, LA, doesn't matter. Destroying New York, destroying Michigan. Here they are at it again. This at our good friend SERREMY, Emmy. California to teach kindergartners there's 15 genders.
Comfortable, they don't identify with their biological gender. So I guess they thought 27% was not enough, and so they want to start early in kindergarten with this 15 different gender thing. But as soon as the next revision comes around, 15 will be outdated. That'll be discriminatory, and then we'll be off to 68 or a million. That's the insanity that we're dealing with.
According to California's new law, if they pass it, moms and dads will be utterly unable to opt their kids out of this. You will not be able to hold your 5-year-old kindergarten kid home if they're teaching 15 genders. You're going to have to, under the peril of the law, compel your kids to attend this.
I got no words for this. Let's look it up. What constitutes 15 genders? Really? Got here ABC News. Here's a list of 58 gender options for Facebook users. Jeez, oh Pete's. You got agender, you got bigender, cisgender, cis male, cis female, FTM, gender fluid, intersex, gender queer, male to female. How could he be male to female gender? That don't make no sense. Trans female, trans male, trans man, trans person, trans woman, transmasculine, transsexual, two-spirit. There you go, two-spirit. Me and my wife are two-spirited partners. So this is crazy, man. Holy smoke. Wow. Just the craziness. This is mental disorder. Full-blown mental disorder they are suffering from. A lot of psychologists that get in trouble with PC crowds have diagnosed these things with mental disorders, and it's the Democrat Party embracing this. SHIT Hole, San Francisco, also by our good friend, must follow. Great tweets from her, Emmy, at SERREMMY.
For sport of our compatriots on the political right to attack San Francisco as if it's some sort of warning for what it's like when liberals run stuff. It's a little like warning someone not to fall in love because there's a risk they might end up living happily ever after.
Jess, parts of the city aren't just disgusting. These diseased streets can be dangerous. Millions of your tax dollars are spent cleaning them. So why does one of the richest cities in the world have neighborhoods that resemble some of the poorest? So how dirty is the city? I hit the streets with my producer to find out. Together, we surveyed 153 blocks of downtown San Francisco. We spent 3 days walking up and down every street, inspecting more than 20 miles of the city. We found trash on every block, 303 piles of feces, and 100 needles.
If you do get stuck with these disposed needles, you can get HIV, hepatitis C, hepatitis B.
Dr. Lee Riley is an infectious disease expert at UC Berkeley.
The fecal matter could possibly get into air, and if you happen to inhale that, it can also go into your intestine,
which can be deadly, especially for children. Dr. Riley has researched some of the dirtiest slums in the world, but believes contamination levels in parts of San Francisco may now be even worse.
Much higher than what we see in places like Brazil or Kenya or India.
The neighborhoods we surveyed include the notorious Tenderloin, but also popular tourist spots like Union Square and major hotels. The area also includes City Hall, schools, playgrounds, and a police station. We took hundreds of photos and videos. Along the way, we spotted several people shooting up. This woman walked right up to my producer before going to the bathroom on the street.
Many tourists told us that the homeless situation here in San Francisco is the worst they have ever seen anywhere.
You're seeing people lying on the streets, seeing people passed out on the street. You're seeing people eat out of garbage cans. You're seeing people shoot up.
John Handlery owns one of the biggest hotels in San Francisco's Union Square, a top tourist destination where some visitors are shocked by what they see.
I've never seen so many homeless. I think that's a real put off for people.
Indeed, the head of the city's visitors.
The head of the city's visitor board says we are losing business. We are losing tourism because of the fact that San Francisco is a crap hole. The Democrats on display. Joe Biden running for president at immutable fact. Hashtag Spygate update. It's Biden. Peter Schweitzer. Hunter Biden must testify on Ukraine-China business dealings. And Peter Schweitzer is the well-known author that writes at Breitbart News that wrote the book Secret Empires, How the American Political Class Hides Corruption and Enriches Family and Friends. We've talked about this book before. I bought the book as soon as it came out about a little over a year ago. Phenomenal book, phenomenal read. Lifelong career politicians to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars. How'd that happen? Let's ask Joe Biden. He should certainly know. Peter Schweitzer, this is a little bit of an excerpt from his book. Hunter Biden controlled the Rosemont Entities, which describes itself as a $2.4 billion private equity firm. In 2011, Hunter Biden met with top Chinese government fund leaders alongside managing partner Davon Archer and James Bulger. Yep, that's right. He's the nephew of the notorious mobster Whitney Bulger, who controlled the Massachusetts-based consultancy firm. The meeting took place just hours before the vice president would meet then Chinese president in Washington as part of a nuclear security summit. Also, on a side note, Whitney Bulger had a younger brother by the name of Bill. Bill was a Massachusetts senator for 18 years while Whitney Bulger was running the mobsters and the gang, the Italian mobsters and the gang bosses, all the murders and all the killings. There you go. Democrats cannot help it. They're stuck in it. All of this information's coming out. It's all over the internet, folks. And Joe Biden's not going to be able to run away from this. This is just so bad. Wow. This by Rock on Ohio, at Rock on Ohio. Wow. 49 years in public office. Name any accomplishments by Joe Biden. I've been racking my brains for the last 45 minutes. I can't come up with a single thing. If this was a Final Jeopardy question, I would answer, what is nothing? And I would be right. Hashtag loser. Now you guessed it. Next on display, thank you so much at Lori Hendry, L-R-I Hendry, another self-important Democrat. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio expected to throw his hat in the ring this week for 2020 Democrat president. More people running for president than attending their rallies. Oh, wow. Lori called it out. She called it early. Washington Times posted this afternoon. Bill de Blasio, New York City mayor, announces presidential run. Go figure. This at Megavolt001, Kamala Harris blames Biden-backed bill for mass incarceration. Remember the 1994 crime bill? Well, she's blasting Joe Biden for it, but all of a sudden come to find out, her brother-in-law helped write it. Come on, man. Y'all incestuous. Y'all in it together. Man, I'll tell you what. Emmy had some great tweets out today. Some phenomenal tweets at SERREMMY. Pocahontas gets ignored on the train. They chase her down and get her on the train. I can't play it because she played the music, the wall in the background, but I'll put it up over a video up over it. But if you follow her, you'll get the real video clip, but I'll show you the clip without sound. And in case you didn't know, Beto O'Rourke just had his hot sauce moment. What do you mean hot sauce moment, Brian? Hot sauce moment. You remember Hillary Clinton going to...
What's something that you always carry with you?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Are you getting information right now? Hot sauce. Hot sauce in my bag, Swag?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yes.
Now, listen, I
yes.
just want you to know, people are going to see this and say, okay, she's pandering to black people.
Okay. Is it working?
Come on, man. So, Beto O'Rourke gets his hair cut in a black barber shop. Just had his hot sauce moment.
After being on the road for almost 2 weeks, we were in...
Operation Boomerang. Durham bar tag team. This thing is heating up and going to be incredible. At Steven Speaks Up. Let's be real here at Jerry Nadler. You are witnessing our Constitution in action, not in crisis. It's understandable why the deep state swamp rats are in panic mode. Your so-called Judiciary Committee will see justice like it's never seen before. And follow Stephen Speaks Up. He's a Christian, Jesus, patriot, conservative, Air Force. That's how we share in common a lot of stuff. Good Lord. I salute you, sir. So here's what's getting ready to go down. redstate.com. You see the link right there in the description below. You read the article. Great article. Nadler screaming, constitutional crisis, constitutional crisis. No, man, you're the one in crisis right now. Crisis mode, cover-up mode. We know what's going on. Everybody knows what's going on. Trey Gowdy knows what's going on. Donald Trump knows what's going on. Everybody knows what's going on. And you know what's going on. And you can't cover it up anymore. Can't hide from it. I had to get this one. I had to tweet this one out when I was reading the Daily Caller today. Trey Gowdy at TGowdySC at FBI cited articles and info from Hillary Clinton ally Sid Blumenthal, as you might know, Sid Blumenthal, to corroborate the hashtag Steele dossier.
They're not investigators. They're only as good as the information presented to them, which is why you make the applicant swear out. You swear out an application. And when the FBI is telling you that this information's been verified, and when they're telling you it's been investigated and it's been corroborated, the judge has to rely on that. They don't get to go conduct their own separate investigations, which is why it's really important to ask the FBI agents and Comey, if you verified this information before its use, which we know you did not, but if your position is you did, tell us how. I've seen the spreadsheet, Martha. I have seen each factual assertion listed in that dossier, and then I've seen the FBI's justification. And when you're citing newspaper articles as corroboration for a factual assertion that you have made, you don't need an FBI agent to go do a Google search. And when the name Sidney Blumenthal is included as part of your corroboration, and you're the world's leading law enforcement agency, you have a problem. And you can blame it on the FISA court if you want to, but I hope Brennan is smart enough to know judges don't investigate. They have to rely on the honest word of the people presenting it to them, and if that honest word is missing, then the judge is going to make the wrong decision.
For those of you who don't know, vicious Sid Blumenthal, so vicious, Hillary Clinton wanted to bring him on as a part of her staff, and Barack Hussein Obama said, you know, he's too vicious. I can't have him. We can't have Sid Vicious up in here. Do not use him. Do not bring him around. She continued to use Sid Blumenthal as a confidant advisor. Yes, folks, more insidiousness. It's just everywhere. Sid Blumenthal, the FBI uses him as evidence that the dossier is real? Come on, man. Now we got this at Megavolt 001. Comey made paper trail pointing to Brennan. Comey told staff in 2016 that John Brennan insisted on pushing PP dossier in Intel assessment. This by brightnews.com. Oh, my goodness. We talked about them blowing up on each other yesterday. And now you see more evidence coming out. They're eating each other alive. Loving every minute of this at WATSPN 1013. We eat popcorn while Democrats eat each other. Fox's Catherine Heritage says in an email from Director James Comey dated December 2016, notes Brennan pushed the dossier inclusion in the IC report. Source inside the CIA blames Comey for including the dossier. This at thegatewaypundit.com. Folks, all the news right here, the real news, breaking news, up-to-date news. We go all over the place to find the real stuff, and here it is at Representative Armstrong, ND. Must watch.
So I'm just going to do this really quickly. Professor Shaw, if Attorney General Barr would have provided a complete and unredacted report, would he have violated the law?
I think the law protects grand jury material. Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah.
Mr. Rosenweig, do you agree with that?
I agree, though I would say that nothing in the statute prevents him from asking a court for permission to provide that Rule 60 material.
I agree with that, but nothing in the statute or our authority compels him to do that. And a subpoena surely doesn't compel him to go to court.
A subpoena surely does not compel him to go to court.
Professor Kinkoff, do you agree with that?
Sure.
Okay.
So all the law professors agree that he should not be subpoenaed. And this at Megavolt001 with a lot of great tweets out today. Turley drops truth bomb on House Judiciary Committee over Barr contempt vote.
Democrats are focused on something that's essentially already been dealt with in the Mueller report that found that this president had not colluded with the Russians, and Attorney General Barr indicated no obstruction, but our Democratic colleagues just can't leave it alone. So today we're wasting this committee's valuable time on executive privilege and blah, blah, blah. Professor Turley, let me ask you this. You had an article in The Hill recently, and in that article, you said the Democrats wanted to manufacture a conflict, and they have succeeded in doing so. What did you mean by that?
Well, that was a column on the contempt action against Attorney General Bill Barr. And for full disclosure, I testified at his Senate confirmation. I've known him for years. I believe that the contempt action of this committee was unfounded, but I also believe that if it goes to a federal court, this is another area where I think that this committee could lose. The issue of Rule 6E was addressed during the confirmation hearing when senators asked me, why won't he commit to releasing the full and unredacted report? And I said, because that would be a crime. You're asking him to commit to an act to secure confirmation that would violate the federal law. If he had said that, despite our friendship, I would have opposed his confirmation because that would be unethical. So there's no question that he cannot release that Rule 6E information. I was counsel in the Rocky Flats case. That's the largest Rule 6E case I know of. We spent years trying to get that special counsel report released. So I'm not a fan of Rule 6E. But we lost. And if you take a look at the McKeever case, which was just handed down by the D.C. Circuit, you are heading into a world of hurt if you go to the D.C. Circuit and argue that you could order Barr, or that Barr could unilaterally release Rule 6E information. They just adopted a narrow view of Rule 6E. And by the way, their view, and I agree with the dissent in that case, raises serious questions about how they're interpreting Haldeman versus Sirica. So you could open up that fight if you bring that case back to the D.C. Circuit. I'd encourage you not to, because I happen to like Haldeman versus Sirica. But right now, the D.C. Circuit is not a hospitable place. They have adopted the narrower approach of a couple of circuits, like the Eighth Circuit, in interpreting those exceptions under Rule 6E.
Boom! Truth bomb just dropped. Professor Jonathan just told committee that, no, that's a battle you're going to lose. Trying to hold Attorney Bill Barr in contempt, trying to get him to turn over the evidence, just not going to happen. It is a losing battle. Not only that, but he just cited a case where they fought for years and years and years, and they lost. And he said, this is even easier slam dunk. Ours was close. This is a slam dunk. You'll never win. And again, the Democrats don't want to win. That's not what this is all about. They're trying to make it look like Republicans are dirty and are bad to cover up for their own actions. And our good friend Louis Gohmert, at it again, buddy, at it again. This at CHIZ MAGA, Rep Gohmert is spot on.
We've got to start having hearings on the FISA courts. And I would love to get this same group back and have a good discussion on the abuses of the FISA court. I'm about to come to the conclusion we need to just get rid of them altogether. They have become so abusive, and the fact that no FISA court has reacted violently to having a fraud committed on the court raises the issue of perhaps if we had a FISA judge or more who were part of this scam to take down a duly elected president. So this is a very important time. Everybody's questions will be part of the record, and you need to know that someday, after all of this has continued to come out and we get all of the truth, what side of history you want. Were you continuing to flail at a candidate you didn't want elected, or are you going to help restore a Department of Justice and a court system that used to be the envy of the world, because we're sure not right now. I yield back.
And this at M3THODS at M2 Madness. Follow this. I'll follow back. This is a good one to follow. There you go. Follow that one. Absolutely. These are the ones to follow. Gomer just making sense of it all. Thank you, sir. Absolutely. Thank you. I was going to get into Islam and the Middle East, but we've run out of time on that one.
If tomorrow Israel laid down its arms and announced, we will fight no more, what would happen? And if the Arab countries around Israel laid down their arms and announced, we will fight no more, what would happen? In the first case, there would be an immediate destruction of the state of Israel and mass murder of its Jewish population. In the second case, there would be peace the next day. As I said at the outset, it is a simple problem to describe. One side wants the other dead. And if it didn't, there would be peace. Please remember this. There has never been a state in the geographic area known as Palestine that was not Jewish. Israel is the third Jewish state to exist in that area. There was never an Arab state, never a Palestinian state, never a Muslim or any other state. That's the issue. Why can't the one Jewish state the size of El Salvador be allowed to exist? That is the Middle East problem. I'm Dennis Prager.
At Marina LWANOVSKY. Did you know Allah is pagan origin name moon god? Ali shortened later to Allah. Yes, we knew it, but thank you. We need to tell the truth every single day here on Smith TV, New Right Network's original series. And yes, Allah is a pagan god. They had thousands of gods back in the day. This is the one that Muhammad decided to bring out and say this is it. That's why they have the symbol of the moon. So thank you for watching, folks. Every night, Monday through Friday, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern, New Right Network's original series, Smith TV. Jump over to smith.tv. Check out all the apparel. Become a Patreon. Help new news media to get out the real news and expose the fake news every single night, Monday through Friday, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern. Again, thanks for the support. Crush the share, crush the follow. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Freedom Friday. And a very, very special guest. You'll be thrilled. You'll be excited. It's going to be an incredible time tomorrow. Don't miss tomorrow's show. Have a good night, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.
You've been listening to New Right Network, mobilizing, countering, energizing. Online at newrightnetwork.com.